Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. Okay, so first of all, I have to say Anna Carranza. How did I say your last name? Carranza?
How would you say it?
I'd say Carranza.
It's Carranza, yes. Yeah.
Carranza, so sorry, I fucked up your name.
Do you think it's Italian?
I guess maybe, but maybe I'm wrong.
You're wrong. It's actually it's Mexican. It's although I am Spanish, the name is it comes from a Mexican president from somewhere. There's so I have that in my lineage.
Got it.
It's Carranza.
Carranza. Got it. Anna Carranza. Now listen, the podcast is actually about, we're all given a few seconds of life, and then how do we make every second count?
Yes.
Okay, so the first one I have here is called Sweet Chico
Yes.
by Anna Carranza.
Correct.
And it's okay, so the photo now, is this a stock photo, or is this your actual dog?
That is my actual dog. That was his name is Chico. His name is and he was a Yorkie. I had him since he was like in his litter. We picked him up. So he was a little baby. I had him all his life, and so in response to your theme, I thought it was appropriate to start with him. Because he was the one, as small as he is, he's the one that actually kind of gave me the gift of why life is precious, why those moments matter, and so that's why he's there. It's no stock photo.
Okay, so the photo is this perfect beach where you don't see the horizon. All you see is sand, and it's photoed from above.
Yeah.
On the left, it says Merry, and I guess maybe it says
Christmas.
Christmas, yeah, Merry Christmas. And Chico is wearing a dog Santa outfit.
Hat. Yeah.
And it's it's a very cute image.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously it's an important image. And for a lot of people, as a person who has many dogs myself,
okay,
I understand. So why start here?
The reason I chose him is I think there are a few moments, when you look back at life, if you're lucky enough to go in an advanced age and see moments that were like, wow, this was it. This is one of those moments. And I had him, like I said, since he was a baby, and he passed in my arms when he was 13 years old. I did not know he was passing. He was my boyfriend. He's more of his dog, so that was like his buddy, right? And so I think I didn't know he was sick. I didn't know anything, and he wasn't acting it. But what happened was I had this very strong instinct to go home, to just kind of take a nap and go outside of my daily schedule, and I did, and I hung out with him. We fell asleep, and then I woke up. I wondered why his tongue was a different color. It was just different. I thought he was dehydrated. I didn't assume anything. I think he was already in the transition. He seemed very, very calm. There was no pain. Wow. There was no uncomfortability. But I kind of had the sense, and I wrapped him around a blanket, and I was kind of outside of myself. And I just carried him around. I called my boyfriend, and he was hurrying back to our home. And during that time, I realized it felt like a moment that wasn't in reality. It felt suspended, and it felt very calm and very peaceful. And I understood what was happening, but I didn't. But I was very calm about it. And he passed in my arms, kind of smiling, relaxed, and his head just kind of went back. My boyfriend came running in, and they took him away. Wow. And that was the last moment I had. However, yeah, that was definitely very, very intense. But I think it was one of the biggest gifts, because in that, returning to that moment, I realized that the connection wasn't gone. He was saying,
Mm-hmm.
it's fine. There's an after, there's something else. This isn't the end. Stop worrying. Don't,
Mm-hmm.
again, take a breath, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think something in that was a gift and a that I don't think I ever truly received from. I mean, I might have, but I just wasn't paying it as much attention. And this was just so profound that
Mm-hmm.
after, yeah, the first 6 months were surreal, but like I had this like commitment to honor that gift and that transfer, and I didn't know, like, okay, I'm gonna do these like I'm gonna travel more. I'm gonna take him in my travels, and I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna like it
Mm-hmm.
expanded, and if anything, it's like, no, don't be afraid. Don't, just go, go, go. And I don't know what it was, but it a lot of unleashed a lot of fear, a lot of like these fears or these things that hold, it's just like, no,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is that holds us back, that is not really there, but we assume it's there. This little tiny Yorkie like kind of was like, it's fine,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah.
Well, okay, so let me just chime in. So my at the moment I have five dogs, and this is like the new cycle in a way of a previous time when I had five dogs. And at the time, they were all roughly the same, in the same kind of age area. And my favorite dog, like my dog, was Kafka. And so in my house, we went through this cycle of different dogs and cats, pets passing,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's really brutal. Sometimes it's actually
Yes.
they don't, your pet or your person or whoever it is doesn't go in a very gentle way. It's like your story sounds
Hmm.
in a very kind of beautiful way, a kind of a nice transition that could speak to you. And then, of course, how do you interpret the experience?
Hmm. Exactly. Yeah. No, and I think, I came from a place that was already very vulnerable. I had a very, very kind of, my childhood was, I didn't have that kind of barrier. I didn't have, and so I think for a little tiny little thing, like, this little
Mm-hmm.
Yorkie, to give me so much strength and power to not let it, yeah, to hear those stories about having to, put your pet to sleep, and I felt like I couldn't have been able to deal with that. And I felt like
Mm.
whatever happened with us in that relationship, it almost seemed like he was overcompensating for my vulnerabilities,
Right,
you know.
right.
And in a sense, how did I handle that? I don't, I mean, I think it is truly something like you have to say how animals and our companion, our fur babies are so much more, than
Mm-hmm.
little like things. They teach us so much lessons. So the things that, like what we're saying right now, what are these precious moments? Well, I grew, like, I had, what, 13 years with him, and 6 months later, all I had so much regret not realizing he was ill for the last,
Mm.
year or
Right,
so, and those moments that I could have, like been, and all that, but that kind of washed over in a sense where the last moments are what mattered. The last moments
right.
we had together. He waited. I think he was ready to pass for a while, and
Okay.
he waited for me
To be
specifically.
ready.
Hmm. And so I don't know if how it did, how it went through was it gave me so much inspiration that because of those moments, your question is so much more important, because it's like, gosh, it really makes me think, well, at the end of it, when I think about what your question means about what those moments, how do you make them precious? There's so many things we can do to like kind of try to validate and try to like be
Sure.
present in the moment. But when your tiny little pet, when he's in this, like, the doorway walking through, and he gives you this one wonderful gift. I think that was, as tiny as it was it carried much more weight and gravity than the things that you strive for, those superficial things, or those
Sure.
moments, right? That you want to, that you think you're working so hard for, but you get them. And so it's these little things in life, I think, that gets you through life, that inspires you and expands your horizons and makes you more present.
So, just to situate the listener and me and stuff, I know you're in the Pacific Central Time somewhere. I'm in Hong Kong. What city are you near?
Oh, okay, sure. I am near Newport Beach. I'm in Newport Beach right now. Laguna
Okay.
Beach. Laguna Beach. Do you know
That
Laguna?
sounds like California to me.
Yes, I'm in California.
So please assume I'm an idiot who doesn't know anything, and we'll
Ah,
move from there.
no, no, of course. California is where we're at. We're in a part of California that is closer to, do you know San Diego? Mexico. Do you know Mexico, and
Sure,
where
Mexico, yes.
Tijuana? So
Okay,
Tijuana, where the Mexico and California border is Tijuana. Then there's
nice.
San Diego, and then there's me.
Wicked. And you're in a hotel?
I am, yes, I'm traveling in the morning.
That's wicked. Okay, so look, Anna, you'll see that the podcast basically flies by very quickly. I
Yes,
mean, you started off strong with Chico.
yes.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
How
Christmas.
long ago was this photo made?
So that was about, I would say, 8 years ago.
Okay, sweet. So, is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So, if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes, shooting.